Welcome, everyone. This is a Cookie Bites episode about awards and badges with Girl Scouts of Silver Sage. My name is Kim Ross on our entrepreneurship team, and we also have Kim Hoosen joining us from Houston. She is Kim version 2.0, the upgrade. And we are again going to talk about awards and badges. And I'll go over the agenda quickly. These are awards and badges that we're focused on for our entrepreneurship program. So we'll talk a little bit about what that means. We'll look at the financial literacy badges, cookie business badges, the collection of family entrepreneurship pins at each level. And then there are also some entrepreneur badges that are not specific to cookies, but are generic to entrepreneurship in general. All right, Kim, next slide and take it away, please.
All right. So what does it all mean? First of all, we'd like to start by mentioning that these are badges. These are items that have a curriculum attached to them. They have certain points that need to be made in order for the badge to be earned. They other types of cookie patches that the girls may earn are more fun patches, like the cute little patch with the panda or the ferret. They go on the back of the vest or sash, and they're just a fun collection of patches. The badges get displayed on the front, and they are the items that show that the girl has learned enough about that to essentially teach it to someone else. So financial literacy, we have an entire set of those. I personally love the Investopedia website. Great for a bunch of financial little bits and bobs and information. So I found an article on there by Jason Fernando, and he says in here that financial literacy is the set of skills needed to handle money wisely, invest effectively, and plan for a comfortable future. And I love this article. It is called Financial Literacy. What is it? And why is it important to teach to teens? Which I have a budding teenager, and she is not very money savvy with her own personal money. So we tend to use some of these things with her. Then other things that the girls learn with these badges are business sense or business acumen, which can sometimes also be referred to as business savvy. This is a person's ability to understand various business scenarios and cope with them effectively. And this quote is from the Indeed editorial team, which actually comprises of 3 women. So fun fact there. And then lastly, we've got entrepreneurship. So an entrepreneur is someone who organizes, manages, and assumes the risk of a business or enterprise. And that is straight out of the dictionary. Entrepreneurs then have the vision to see opportunities where others would see challenges. They are innovators, they are risk takers, and change makers, from entrepreneur.com. So just a couple little things as to these skills. I mean, you can kind of take all of these different concepts and apply them to our Girl Scout cookie program. They have to be able to use money to set a budget, learn how to set a goal, and then they have to learn how to sell their cookies. They have to, learn how to find a customer. Maybe they have to learn how to market something to a customer. And all of this prepares them for the potential to be entrepreneurs themselves.
I'd like to share real quick.
Oh, yeah.
The very last sentence there, the vision to see opportunities where others see challenges and being innovators, risk takers, and change makers. Even if you take the entrepreneurship out of it, that's what I see as a Girl Scout. A Girl Scout sees opportunities where others see challenges. She figures out how to climb that hill or use that ropes course, and they innovate. They take, calculated, intelligent risks, and they make change to make the world a better place. And so, again, even outside of entrepreneurship, these skills are important, and they really do speak to Girl Scouts for
me. They really do. And I know there's a statistic out there. I don't remember what the actual numbers are, but there is a very high percentage of female entrepreneurs that were also Girl Scouts. And I want to say it's somewhere upwards of like 65-70%.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Don't have that actual number in front of me. So we do have our financial literacy badges. These badges can be broken down into two different categories. We have financial wellness, and then we have financial empowerment. The financial wellness side of it, these are where the girls learn about money, how it's used, what it means to spend, save, create a budget, how to share money with someone else, practice being a good budget manager. Then the older girls, they, figure out what their money habits are. They try to, plan to save money, reduce risk, plan for a big expense. And then our high schoolers also learn about credit, borrowing choices, and then paying back what you owe, which is great for those 11th, 12th graders who might be planning on heading over to college. But these are also, they're not tiered. What's it? They kind of accumulate. So we're not going to have a daisy make a, college plan. So they are age appropriate. The little girls learn about things that would relate to them, like what do I need versus what do I want? How to make a smart choice on something that you're going to buy. Like, we're not going to have kindergartners learning about investments. That seems silly, and they're not going to even understand what they're talking about. But we do have that on the financial empowerment side. So the little girls do learn needs versus wants, making smart buying choices, creating a little budget, and learning about investing and saving. So this may not be a stock market investment, but it's, how do I have a savings account? They then, as they get older, do learn what are positive money habits, protecting my finances, maybe creating a budget that would support me at age 25 or 30, familiarizing themselves with different ways to earn, share, how to invest, what inflation is, and then how to make a financial plan. And then for the oldest girls, learn how to invest when they are able to, since most of these girls will be under 18 and they can't do that investment side just yet. So how to do it when you can.
This is one of my favorite parts, actually, about a lot of the Girl Scout curriculum, is that it does have that progression where it meets each girl where she is at each different level of Girl Scouting. And I also wanted to share, for these badges, the curriculum that we're talking about is in the My GS, for volunteers who are registered as volunteers. You can also ask your troop leader for this information if you're interested in doing one of these badges, but perhaps the troop didn't vote on it. And then you could also, if the badge requirements booklets are in the store or on the GS USA store website, you could purchase them there. So if you want to have that curriculum available to you, it's available somewhere.
Yes. So yeah, all of these badge curriculums are available on the Volunteer Toolkit, more affectionately known as the VTK. It is available to all registered volunteers and troop leaders. However, registered volunteers can only access it if a troop leader has set it up. So troop leaders, if you set it up, just, even if you just blank set it up, I do believe most families can access it. If they cannot, you can go and just add a badge to your schedule, and then the parent would be able to download it and access it that way. Okay. Next, we have our cookie business badges. These are some of my favorites, both to do with the girls and to just talk about in general. So these badges get the girls excited for the cookie program. And again, they are progression. So, daisies and brownies are little girls. They're not learning how to market their business using social media or coming up with a portfolio or anything like that. Those are reserved for the older girls. But it does teach them how to get excited about the cookies, learn their products, figure out how to find a customer. They do learn their goal setting and their decision-making skills with these. They learn how to set their goals based on what they want to do with their money after they've sold their cookies. Brownies then take another step up. They learn how to find other customers, keep them coming back year after year, and then they learn how to think like an entrepreneur and make decisions for their cookie business. Juniors then learn to bring together the different skills to meet a goal or an idea. They learn how to collaborate with their troop, their community, their outside network in order to grow their cookie business. So this one, maybe they need to ask mom, dad, grandma, aunts, uncles, other extended family to help share their cookie link to expand their business to people that they wouldn't normally communicate with. Cadets, they have 3 on here. You'll see most of these cadets have 3. And that is because there are 3 years girls are a cadet scout. They are there for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Otherwise, most of these are only there for 2 years. So there's 1 badge that they can earn in each year, ideally. So for our cadets, they learn the knowledge of business resources, or they expand their knowledge of business resources. They come up with a business plan. They learn how to explore their customers' experience, develop a marketing plan, and then they learn how to tackle their goals and find a unique way to connect with their customers. Our high school girls, our seniors and ambassadors, they learn how to strengthen their network, take their business to the next level. They learn how to lead with confidence and become the boss of their own cookie business. Then they learn how to showcase their business accomplishments in a resume and portfolio. And they come up with a new way to share information on their business so that it makes a big impact. So maybe that last one is they've always just marketed through mom and dad with Facebook, and maybe they now want to branch out to Instagram or something like that. Just finding another way to expand their business that they haven't thought of already. Did you have anything on this one, Kim?
I think my biggest takeaway on this one is, again, and you mentioned it too, that there are essentially 1 badge for each year a girl is a Girl Scout. And so they, again, as a progression, build off of one another. But I would highly recommend that each girl attempt 1 badge each year so that she grows those skills. Because, again, they're not only for business, but they also help them in all the different aspects of their life. So, asking a customer to buy cookies is not far different from asking for a raise or asking for a job or asking for something for someone else. So yes, those skills I think are just very important to
going to your next door neighbor who you've only known for 2 months and asking for a ride to school because you missed your bus this morning and mom doesn't have a car.
I mean, yeah, yes,
that might have happened in my house this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fortunately, we trust the neighbor we've only known for a couple months. But also fun fact about these cookie badges is they are also in the digital cookie system. So when you go into your web-based digital cookie, so on your computer or using the web version on your mobile device, there is a tab for designating that your girl has accomplished these badges so that you could track that they've done each of the steps to earn them. But also there is a section for like kind of learning more, and maybe it goes into articles that the girls would find interesting on how to expand their business or how to do additional marketing. Digital cookies come up with some great tools, and these are connected to that. As are the family entrepreneurship pins. So also these are listed in digital cookie, and when you do each of the steps, you can check them off, and then a cute little like pin or badge will show up on the front dashboard of your girl's digital cookie page. So the family entrepreneurship pins, the focus of these pins is to just make sure that families are on board with the girls' goals and marketing plan. These pins cover not only the cookie sales goals, but they help build on the skills in the cookie business badges. So again, they start out simple. Daisies determine their cookie goals, discover who would make a good customer, practice their money handling, and practice their sales pitch. Brownies and juniors, they get a little bit more involved with finding their customers in new places. They expand on their sales pitch. Maybe this includes a personal goal or an upsell instead of just saying, oh, my troop wants to go to the zoo. Now maybe it's, I am earning credits to go to camp this summer. Then cadets expand into making goal benchmarks and financial planning. Seniors and ambassadors create a business plan, a personalized finance plan. They look at ways to segment their customers to market to each group the best. They reflect on their past cookie selling experiences and how the cookie selling has made them grow outside of the Girl Scout cookie program. And that last one, they need to team up with an adult in their life who has also watched them grow throughout the whole experience. So they're fun. And I mean, I know the cadets get a little bored by the time they get to the third one because they're doing the same ideas over and over for 3 years. But they are fun, and anybody who likes to collect things to put on the front of their vests and sashes, this is a thing for them.
Okay, my hand's up and I'm going to jump in.
Yeah.
Here's why. I absolutely love these family entrepreneurship pins, and I heard it just within the last week or two that cookies really is a team sport. And so this is where a family works together, gets information to and from the girl, learns about her goals, but also helps her build her goals and understand what's possible or not possible within the family's resources. So Kim mentioned earlier she didn't have a car today. Well, she might also, for example, not have a car during cookie season and not be able to drive her girl back and forth to 27 booths over the cookie season. So maybe a goal for the Daisy isn't quite possible based on the availability of the family. She might be working over the weekend or what have you. So we want to make sure that as the Daisy or Girl Scout of any age is talking to her troop leader and saying, oh, I want to sell 5,000 packages of cookies. Well, great. We would love that for you. And also that may not be possible within the confines of the family. And so this is something where the family works together to determine that. We also get a lot of questions about the pins. For example, there are 2 brown pins for the brownies. And we often get asked, okay, so she's a second year brownie, but this is her first year doing it. So if it's your first year doing it, even though you're a second year brownie, you still get pin number 1. So that is how that works. You always get pin number 1 the first time you do it. So for example, if you're a second year brownie and you're doing it for the first time, you get brown pin number 1. And then next year, when you're a junior, you get purple pin number 1. So that is how that works. These pins are earned awards like a badge. And so they do go on the front of a girl's vest or sash or tunic.
So then we also have some fun entrepreneur badges. So these are badges that aren't related to the cookie program or the fall product program. These badges are related instead to the idea of entrepreneurship and creating an idea that you want to make into a business. So these badges, they start with coming up with an idea, maybe creating a prototype, revising your idea or prototype after you get a little bit of feedback. And then the Daisy badge stops at just pitching your idea, not even to an audience, just telling it to a friend, telling it to your parent, telling it to a leader. The brownies and juniors, however, it does say to pitch it to an audience. So maybe the audience is your troop. Maybe the audience is your troop and your troop parents. And the idea is that you create that business idea, that prototype, and you're saying, hey, I just made these LED scrunchies and I think they're going to be awesome. And here's why I think you're going to like them too. Then for the older girls, they are going to do all of those things, but they're also going to maybe create a business plan, maybe conduct some market research, create a business model. And then finally, the ambassadors would then go and pitch the business. Again, not necessarily to somebody who would invest in it, but to their friends, family, or their troop. So I think these are super fun ideas and badges. And I don't think they get as easily utilized in a troop setting, but they are perfectly easy to utilize in I'm doing it on my own home setting. Because maybe you have a junior and her job is to create a prototype. And so maybe she's going to go and she's going to make a catapult out of Legos as her prototype. And then she's going to take that to her troop, and then they're going to give her some feedback on it. And maybe she needs to make it longer or bigger, or make the scoop a little bit wider. They're going to give her feedback. She's going to take it back home, expand or revise her prototype, and bring it back to another troop meeting, and then do her sales pitch. Or she can go back for feedback a couple of times, either way. But that is something that she could easily do at home, create the idea, bring it to her troop and say, hey, here's my idea. What do you think? And then keep kind of going back and forth. And it's more of a personal badge rather than a troop badge. But also could be done in a troop setting, just like every other badge can. So. Finally, we've got our questions. The easiest way to reach a Kim or a Kim is through customer care. You can reach them by email or by phone number right here on the screen. And again, that is a funnel. So if one of us is out or one of us is sick or at home and we can't look at it, it is in a collective spot that both of us can access instead of it being in one person's email box or another. Because I don't see Kim's email and she doesn't see mine.
Terrific. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. We appreciate it.
Thanks.